Can you believe it? It is here. It's only been 5 years. Yes, only. I didn't even think this would ever show up again after having had a delivery window in May of 2022. And whoa, and now it is March 2024. It's 5 years. We're just a couple weeks away from when I gave Rivian $1,000 for this. I configured it, what, 3 or 4 years ago? They gave me a price, they changed the price on me, wanted more money, but not just from us, from everybody. So everybody canceled, so they reversed it so that they could keep the orders. And now it's finally here. It finally made it. Kind of weird or kind of funny is, this got delivered to us the day that Rivian revealed the R2 and R3. This is an R1 Launch Edition, and we waited that long. They already revealed their new models. Isn't that amazing? We waited that long. I don't think there's anybody else that had to wait 5 years on a Launch Edition vehicle. I don't know why. We had, I believe, 5 different delivery windows. They were pushed out over and over again. I changed the configuration once, I think after the 3rd delivery window, because by that time there were so many of those out there, and I finally got to see them in different videos and things, and I finally got to see all the different rims, not just only on Rivian's website, but in real life. And first I opted for the 21-inch rims, basically the aero type rims that give you the best range. But after seeing all those, I like these 22s much better. They looked really cool. And because I have a Launch Edition reservation, I was able to choose actually between the 20, the 21 and the 22s, as long as they were not the black ones. The black ones were extra money, but the other 3 I could choose, and that was included because I was a Launch Edition reservation holder very early on. So I opted for these 22s because they didn't cost me any extra. Might as well. I mean, Rivian's been pushing out my delivery date, so they got to give me something. Just kidding. But I like these better. They're not necessarily the tire and rim you want to go off-road, and we live in rural Montana, especially right now. Our road here, we got about a little over a mile to go on this dirt road down here, and it's pretty rough. But, well, there's enough forever here. We just got to go a little bit slower, and then we'll get a second set anyway for winter tires. So I'll have to see, and maybe get a 21 or even a 20 for winter tires, since these are just all season or summer tires. But it's here. And another funny thing is, it was supposed to be here at noon on that day, but I mean, it's been 5 years late, so why would it be here at noon, right? It actually showed up at about 5, or actually it was after 5 in the afternoon when it finally showed up. So, and yeah, we're happy it's here. I still can't believe it. It's been a couple days now. We got to drive it just a little bit. I don't think we have 100 miles on it yet. I'm not sure, but yeah, we didn't drive it very far yet. Yeah, but it's been a long, frustrating ride to get here. But it's finally here, and so I'm gonna show it off a little bit and compare it to our Teslas and give you my first impressions of what I think about it. And we've been driving Teslas on electric vehicles for 6 years now, so we have a little experience. And yeah, let's take a closer look. So obviously it's got the Rivian front with the special eyes here, and either you love it or hate it, I guess. It's different, that's for sure. The lighting features are interesting. I don't know that I need that, but it's not bad. This particular car is in Launch Edition green, so this color is no longer available. But yeah, I chose the Launch Edition. The forest green is a little different. The forest green is, I don't know, a little brighter, shinier maybe. This is more a little creamy. I don't know, it's hard to say. But well, we really like this green. We have not seen it, never ever, on a real car before, since well, there's not many Rivians out there. I mean, Rivian hasn't produced many vehicles at all. They've been going so slow. So, but, well, here it is. And first, we didn't know if there's the tow hitch down here, but it is here. It is here. We just had to get a screwdriver out and pull that cover off. There's a tow hitch with the 7-way plug, because we do plan on towing a trailer with this once in a while. Mostly my wife will be driving this car for her real estate, so she can drive clients around and get out into the boonies. We are in rural Montana, and she will have to drive lots of logging roads to show the certain homes or land out here. So this will be real easy with this compared to, well, that. She's been driving the Model S, this 2013 Model S with almost 230,000 miles on it. But once in a while, we had to actually switch over and grab the truck, because, well, the Model S couldn't go where the truck can, and so hopefully this here will be able to go everywhere. We assume that shouldn't be a problem, enough ground clearance. Well, we got it when it arrived. It was on a trailer, and they had to unload a different car first, and then got this one off, and then I had to drive it up here. And the funny thing is, well, I got in and drove it up here, and it bounced us around really bad. And I was like, what the heck's going on? That's when I realized it said shipping mode on the screen, just in little tiny letters along the top of the screen. And so, yeah, it was in shipping mode. I didn't know it had a shipping mode. I didn't know where to disable the shipping mode. And shipping mode is not the same as tow mode on the Tesla, because in shipping mode, you put it in drive, you put it in reverse, park, all that just works as normal. So I wasn't sure what shipping mode is. Tapping on where it said shipping mode didn't do anything. Well, I didn't know how to disable it at that point. I found out later there's a setting in the menu where this can be turned off. And so I suspect shipping mode dumps all the air out of the suspension, brings it all the way down. And I assume that even these hydraulic sway bars, shock absorbers, maybe they close all the valves so that there's no movement when this sits on the trailer being transported, so that it doesn't shake around up there, sway around or whatever, so that it basically sits fixed up there. I assume that's what that shipping mode is. So as you can see, we have this is forest green interior with this darker wood here, and we really like that too. That is really nice. So that turned out good. We like the combination of the green on the outside and the green on the inside. And yeah, so when we got it, we first went through a few other things, the settings, and we paired our phones. And when we paired our phones, that is when I noticed the first little issue that I didn't expect. And that was that we were only able to use 2 phones as keys. So we have the Tesla, our Model 3, and we use 3 phones as key. And I don't know how many more we could add, or if that's the max or whatever. We needed 3, and we just added 3, and that works. On the Rivian, you can only add 2 phone keys. And I think that's a bit ridiculous. I mean, it's so simple. It's really, it doesn't take any more hardware. It's just a software issue. And on top of that, the second phone that we paired, it paired and it unlocks the car and makes the car drive and everything. It works fine, but it still says in the car that it is not paired properly, needs to be paired again. And it's funny, when I asked the Rivian about it, they said, yeah, that's a software issue. It'll be fixed someday. It's like, really? I mean, they already know about it, and there's been several software updates, so I don't know. That was the first hiccups we ran into. We got a bunch of keys with it, obviously. We got 2 cards, a wristband, and a key fob with it. And they all worked. The setup process was easy. With a little help, I found out how to assign the keys to the different drivers. And so my daughter now doesn't have a phone key. She has to use the wristband, and it's assigned to her, so it goes to her driver's profile. Well, so now let's take a little closer look on the inside. So sitting in the car, I mean, this is all comfy. We like the seats, they're adjustable. We did find a little issue. If you look from right here from the side, you can see this headrest sticks a good inch or more forward of the cushion here. And my daughter is very short, so the top of her head is just right here. And she's been hitting, I think, down in this area or this area, she keeps hitting her head on. And we readjusted her backrest a little bit where we leaned it a little more back, just a smidgen, and we adjusted the cushion to tip her a little bit more forward, and that helped. But this is really an issue that has been bugging her about when she's driving. When she's not driving, it doesn't really matter, but when she is sitting in the driver's seat, this has been an issue that's been bugging her. So other than that, the seats are wonderful. The ventilation works fine, the heat works fine, and we got the heated seats in the back there. All that is wonderful. Folding the seats down in the back here, that works. It's kind of odd how you got to put them back up and stuff. You have the power release to get them down from the very back, but then getting them back up is a little tricky in a way. The other thing we noticed up here, it's quite noisy, the HVAC system. So because it was cold, obviously the heater had to come on, and the blower was going pretty good, and that was quite noisy. Obviously our Model 3 or Model S or the Chevy Bolt we had, I don't want to say they're quiet, but it was not as noisy as this here. This was pretty noisy when the fan was up going. Yeah, I don't know why, but I don't know if it's the cabin shape that just makes it sound so much louder or what it is, but this is definitely the noisiest HVAC system of all the three, of the 2020 Chevy Bolt, the 2018 Tesla Model 3, and the 2013 Tesla Model S that we have. So this is definitely the noisiest one. Even with the fan lower, you just can hear that so much more. I don't know why. It's just, yeah. Don't know why. It is what it is, but yeah, noisier than anything than any other that we have. Well, other than that, this here is very similar to the Tesla. And now, since I mentioned that the R2 and R3 were just revealed today when we got this, I like these little scroll wheels. I don't know. Well, they have these separate buttons here on the side. Maybe they could have made the scroll wheel to be pushed to the side or whatever. I don't know. They chose to go with the button. That's fine. But I like this better than what they just revealed with these large scroll wheels on there. They're huge. I mean, I don't know. I like this. I like less buttons and I like small. So this is good for me. This large thing that they just revealed wouldn't be mine. So I definitely prefer this here. Here with the screen, so obviously our Model 3 does not have a screen in front of the steering wheel. The Model S does. And well, it just comes with all the benefits, with all the pros and cons that such a screen has. And one of the cons, so when I'm sitting here, I'm looking at it just about like this. And obviously I can't see the whole screen. And yeah, that's what always sucks, because you always have to move around to see everything. So I'm not necessarily a fan of screens in front of me. I really like the Model 3 with just the center screen. I really don't need this one anymore. And the Model S, it works. The Model S screen is a little bit smaller and easier to see. This is a little bit bigger. So here we have the same issues we had with old-fashioned instrument clusters, where we just had to look around, you know, crouch down or up or whatever, move the head to see it all. So, but many people like this much better than not having anything there. So I guess it's personal preference. Another thing I noticed really early on is when I had to get out of the car. So right here is the handle that you need to pull, and my seat lines up right here. This side is a little bit raised, which helps you keep your legs in so you don't slide off the seat. But so we're right here at that seat height. And for me right now, the way I have to get this to get in here, actually it's odd. I gotta bend my wrist out quite a bit to get in there and get over this. So I'm coming down and out, and it's just odd feeling. And the first couple times when I did it, I didn't have this really down. I came here, hit here like this, literally hit like this, because it just didn't work. And yeah, I don't know. I think this could be better. So I'm relatively short. I brought the seat up quite a bit for my seating position so that I sit comfortable. And if you're taller, you probably have to seat lower, and then this is not really an issue. So it depends, but I thought this could have been done better. So like Tesla with on the Model 3 that has a release button up here for the door latch, I think that would be pretty cool. I mean, if I could reach over here and have a release button like right here, maybe move the window buttons forward, would have a release button right here. So I could just grab here, press the release button, push the door out. That would be really nice. They could have something like that as a mechanical release, just like Tesla has a mechanical release as well. But it would be nice to have just a button here as electronic release. So this, like I said, yeah, not my favorite feature here. Maybe it would be better something here where the lever is here and you grab it like this, or I don't know. Many cars have it up here. Yeah, it is what it is, I guess. I got used to it now, depending on how you sit. This comes out different. Well, let me know about all this stuff. These are my personal opinions. Let me know down below in the comments if you have one of those R1s. How does it work for you? Did you encounter these similar issues? So the next issue is right over here too, is down here. I don't know if I can show you that a little better maybe. So we got this down here, this pocket, right? It's a big pocket. It's nice that there is a pocket, but if we're looking down from the top right here straight down, you can't see the pocket. Okay, there's no pocket here, and right here there's hardly any room to reach down. I barely fit my arm in between there, barely. And so getting to this right here, that's as far. I cannot even really reach in there. I can't reach the bottom of it right here. I gotta go forward and bend my arm backwards. So these pockets here, they're not accessible for me, especially not as a driver. Obviously, if I'm over in the passenger there, I maybe can reach around or whatever. I can move around and do something. But here as a driver, I do not have access to these pockets while driving, really. This is, yeah, inaccessible for me. So I can only put stuff in here that I pretty much need when I'm parked or whatever, when we're not driving or something, right? So I don't know, not a fan of this. I don't like this too much because it just, yeah, it doesn't work to access there. The pocket size itself is great. I like the pocket size. I like that it folds out. That is perfect, and it definitely gives added storage with having all these pockets. I mean, we've got same size pocket over there, and we got more pockets back here, but it's just the access to those pockets, especially for the drivers. The driver should have easy access to the pocket, but that armrest with the buttons here, all this sticks out so far, so I can't reach down there. So yeah, I don't know. A little redesign there would have been better probably, but it is what it is. But yeah, also with the seat, since we're talking about this over here, this is this bolster here, right, that keeps me in the seat, which is comfortable for sitting. But so when I want to get out of the car, now I gotta get up. I gotta get literally up over this to get out of the car. This is literally, I mean, this is 2 inches high roughly, and I literally have to get up over this to get out of the car, and even worse, to get in the car. And like my truck over there, it has a grab handle right here to get in. So it's easy to grab the handle and get in. The only grab handle is up here, and I cannot really reach that from the outside coming in here and help me pull up, because I have to bend I have to bend my arm in a weird shape that doesn't work. So I can't use this to pull myself in. There's nothing here to grab on. This is not really something you can grab onto, and you don't want to. This is an Alcantara type material. It's soft, and this would wear out anyway. So yeah, so this here, the seats are great, but to get in and out, even in the lowest position, it is tough for short people like me. My wife is even shorter than me, and my daughter is even shorter than my wife. So this makes it tough for us. So I guess we have to get running boards, and hopefully that will make it easier so we can step up onto the running board to get in here. I think that will be the solution we have to have. So yeah, now like I said, the seats are super comfortable so far. This has been great. The little bit we drove has been super comfortable. There is some wind noise, and I think it's not wind noise where something is wrong. I think this is just wind noise that is with these cars, and they all have it, and I expected it not to be there. Let me put it this way. Our 2018 Model 3 has some noises. It's not known to be a quiet car, and it does have some noises, and this certainly has wind noises. Now the brand new Model 3 Highland is much quieter, so definitely much better. Well, and this is a 24 R1S, just like the 24 Model 3 Highland, right? So I I expected this to be better, let's put it this way. Our 2013 Model S that sits over here, that's why I'm pointing this direction, is actually as quiet as this one here, definitely. And it's now 11 years old and has over 200,000 miles on it. And it is quiet. So that part was a little disappointing here, that there is these wind noises. The wind noises are on the outside. I think it's mostly getting around the mirrors. The mirrors, in my opinion, are a little clunky. They're big, they're huge. They kind of remind me of the VW ID4 when I first looked at it. It had these huge clunky mirrors too. And I'm not really used to that. I don't know. I don't know why they need to be as thick as they are. They're huge. So I don't know. It's what the deal is there. I mean, looking out here, the little triangle shaped window there is really not needed because I can't see anything out of it. The mirror is blocking this completely. So not a fan of those mirrors, but they're what they are, I guess. So let me know if you like that design. I thought this could look better, thinner, skinnier, smaller, I don't know, something. So, but I guess it works. What I really like though, now that I'm looking over here, is this here. I like this nice little insert that says Launch Edition. I thought that was a nice touch here. I like the dash, it looks nice. It has this, I don't know what I would call this retro look, or this, I almost want to call it antique with the wood in there and stuff. It is a little unusual to have something like this, but it's a nice touch. They made it really nice actually, so like that part. Well, down here, well, that's our temporary here, but there's lots of room down here. I guess this is great for women to put their purse. For us men, I don't know, what are you putting here? I don't know what I would put here. It's more like a big bin that collects trash. Let me know what you're using it for, what you're putting down there if you have one. And then if we look a little further back, here we got the speaker, the cam speaker with the light, and which is kind of cool. Don't know if we need it. The problem with this is when you have to pull it out here, it goes 2/3 through this compartment down here. So you can't have anything in this compartment that's higher than 1 inch, or it interferes with pulling the speaker out. So I assume that doesn't really matter because you only will pull the speaker out when you're camping. Well, there's tons of room in here. There's two USB-C. Let's see if I can get down there. You can barely see them. There's these notches here, so you can have cables here to charge your phone. But this is supposed to be a charge pad here, where I can just lay the phone down and it would charge. And I have an iPhone 13 and I could barely get it to charge on here. At some point it did, and it was fixed. It was in one place, it didn't move around. And it would charge, it would stop charging, it would charge, it would stop charging. So the screen would come on and off all the time. And yeah, I would use more energy for the screen than it would charge. My wife, she has the latest iPhone, and we placed it right over here in this area, facing up like this. And it did charge there, and it stayed on charging, so that worked. But then next time we came in, we placed it somewhere else, or we placed it there, then it wouldn't work. And then we placed it here and it would work, but then it would start doing the same thing with turning on and off. So yeah, this, I mean, it's a great idea, but why did they really put this here? Did they already know this don't work? I think it's kind of funny. Also, I'm not sure about this. What the hell am I really gonna do with this? I don't know, stick my phone in here up this way? I don't know. Doesn't seem like a reasonable thing. I don't know if we stick the phone in there like this. I mean, if I wanted to charge, I gotta run the cable from down here through here and plug it in. I got a small phone and mine doesn't even fit in the width, so I don't know. Also, for me, this here, it doesn't seem to slide real easy. People been saying their phones slide around. I can see that there's no like a nice little divider in the middle. So this is definitely something that, as far as I can tell, everyone has issues with, and people even added a wireless charging pad on top of this. So, and now that this vehicle basically has been in production for 2 years, the R1S, the R1T has been in production for 3 years, and this still don't work, is kind of disappointing. But well, lots of room in here anyway. It's kind of interesting how this here is, because you can press this button on the right or you can press the button on the left and both open, and it's an electric release. Kind of different, interesting, I don't know. And just like everybody complains about no glove box, obviously there is no glove box, so yeah, I don't know that really matters too much to me at this point. If I would have had a glove box, we would have thrown the temporary in there, so now we just throw the temporary down there for now. Well, this magic screen right here, that's obviously where we had to go through and get signed in and everything, and it was done nicely. I like that the way they did it with welcome and my name on it, and then going through the steps, and it was guiding us through the initial steps to pair the phone and everything. That was nice. And then my wife paired her phone, and then it said welcome and her name, so that was done really nicely. I really like that. That was a nice touch. But like I said, we could only pair 2 phones as a key, but you can pair more phone for audio. So we were able to pair our daughter's phone to the audio, so she can stream music, whatever her contacts, the actual phone, so she can make a call wirelessly here without touching her phone, right? That all works, but we could not add it as a key. That was odd, that you can do more, that you can do at least 3 phones. I don't know how many you could add in there for as a phone and as audio type deal, but not as key. As key, you can only do 2 of them, so that was kind of odd. We did struggle to find our way around here in the menu. I still do a little bit. We haven't done much yet. So there is this little car icon, and this brings up this quick menu here real quick. And yeah, I'm not sure that this quick menu, and in the Tesla, whenever you stop, basically this quick menu pops up where you can open the trunk, whatever. You can just press those buttons, right? So this, I have to press it. I'm not sure. I just don't know. I can fold individual mirrors here. I don't know. I'm not necessarily a big fan of that. And when I press this on the Tesla, this little car icon, I get all the options. Here I just get a few, I don't know, and then I gotta find the other options, and I have a certain amount down here of these apps. But I mean, you can go through and change things here, but not all apps are here. You gotta swipe up to get the rest of the apps. And yes, you don't get all the apps on the Tesla either, but I don't know, it seems easier on the Tesla to find my way through all this and to find the settings. Now that said, there is a whole bunch of settings on here, obviously. So I'm not sure. I still have to get used to this. This seems to be that here it's a little less intuitive. It's a little more searching through, more, I would say this is actually very similar to the Chevy Bolt in a way. So the Chevy Bolt obviously didn't have this huge screen. It didn't have all this, you know, the cool images and stuff. The Chevy Bolt screen is very basic and small, but just like this, the Chevy Bolt offers a ton of options and adjustments. And I'm not talking about drive options here. Just in general, the options and adjustments and things you can do in a Bolt are amazing. But it's not intuitive in the Bolt. It's not intuitive here. You got to search through to find these things, and you know, got to find them all over and over again, kind of deal. So yeah, that is not, I'm not too much a fan of this. I hope I can get used to this, especially since I don't drive this car very often. It will be tougher for me to go through this particular screen here. By the way, I kind of find this is very cool. It's kind of cool to see here which wheel gets how much power, how much regen. That's kind of cool to see, since it's split up by the wheel. You can see the steering angle there. Nice to see is the compass. The Tesla has a compass too, but it doesn't show the degrees, so that's kind of cool. Really cool is that. I've been missing that in the Tesla, that it shows the elevation. That is yeah, one great thing. Definitely here. Trip A and B, I don't know. I wanted to change the trip B to total so that I can just run it from the beginning on endless. I did that in our Model 3, but here I can't rename it. And because I can't rename it, at some point somebody probably will reset trip B. We already got 147 miles on it. I didn't know. I thought we had less than 100 miles. It got here with 11 miles. So, but yes, I would like to keep this trip going for the lifetime. So I would like to call it either lifetime or total or something, but that's unfortunately not a possibility. So other than that, yeah, the screen has similar features as Tesla screen. Yeah, it's a matter of finding the settings. Another issue that I have found is, and you can see that right now because there is nobody sitting over here. There's nobody sitting there. So you get basically the same climate, well, not these here, but you get this little climate control thing over here for the passenger. And there's the sync function. But I don't know, maybe I'm doing it wrong, but every time I touch the temperature over here or do anything here, it takes the sync away, even though I don't want to just change my temperature as a passenger. So when it's here, the car just assumes the passenger wants a different setting, but that's not the case. The passenger is just adjusting the setting for the whole car. So it always takes the sync off. So if the driver is hot and wants the temperature down and asks the passenger to set the temperature lower, the passenger is going to go over here where we have that exact same thing. And as the passenger taps that, it takes the sync off option off. The passenger gets a little colder temperature or warmer depending on what you adjust, but the driver will stay the same. So I found that to be weird, and then you press the sync again, then it syncs it to this and not to that, which kind of makes sense. But so in the Tesla, even though we have the two options, once it's synced, the passenger can adjust over there and it will adjust the driver as well. So I kind of like that better, because quite frequently, I don't know how that is with you, but when we are in busy traffic somewhere in a town and we need to focus, I don't want to go find the control down there and tap on it. And I don't want to, well, here you got to talk to Alexa. That is something up. Oh, there she comes. There she's gone. So, which is kind of weird anyway. It doesn't really work as great as it should, I guess. But yeah, being in traffic, you want your passenger next to you be able to help you with things on the screen here, where they can adjust the temperature for you, or they can pull up the map or something, whatever needs to be done. And especially that temperature thing has been a little bit annoying, because as my wife was driving and I changed the temperature, it would just change my temperature and not hers on her side, and that was not what we wanted. So yeah, so that's been a little annoying. As we drove a little bit, we used the Drivers Plus function. I was amazed that it actually worked out here on I-90, but it did, so that was good. We have this little see that little icon with the lowering arrow there, so that is the car kneeling as we get out. It doesn't go as fast as it should. I think if you ever seen buses, when they come up to the bus stop, they drop really quick, and this here goes really slow. I mean, just a little bit faster. Even if it doesn't go as fast as a bus, the kneel function should be faster. The thing is, once someone opens the door, it's done. It's not working anymore. And a lot of us probably, once we get somewhere, we open the door immediately. We may not get out immediately, but it's kind of one of those things. Many people just open the door, or the passenger opens the door. The passenger is ready to get out. The driver maybe not yet, but the passenger opens the doors, it stops. So it should drop faster. It should only take a few seconds, 3 seconds maybe, to drop this as soon as the car is put in park, I think. That may be nitpicking or personal preference, whatever you want to call it, but I think it should drop faster to do that. Nice is definitely that we can, so if this is here, that we can do this. That is nice. Opening and closing. That is wonderful. And the same you can see here, maybe right there, that is the trunk, which the way it's done, it's Too bad you can't close the lower portion electrically, that you actually have to. Now it should go back there. Up, closed it is already. So you can only close the upper portion of the trunk lid or tailgate. The lower portion is manual, which is kind of dumb, because if you leave it open, you get in the car and it's like, oh, I got a button, but oh no, hold on, the lower portion is down. Then you got to go back there and close that anyway. I don't know what to think about that. I think that should be different. And that reminds me, I think it's in there in the R2 or R3. I think the R3 has it where the upper portion opens and the lower stays closed. Or the whole thing can open together going up rather than going down. I think that's a much smarter idea now there than what this here is. So yeah, I've been riding in the back there. That is not too bad. The armrest here is kind of a struggle for many people because this is not adjustable. It's attached to the backrest. It goes as you're putting the back up and down, this goes up and down. So if one sits in a certain position, that armrest may be too far down or too far up, it should be adjustable to be brought up level regardless of where the backrest is. So yeah, but so far we've been comfy. Happy in here. There's always things one has to get used to. We definitely have to find much more out about this car. It is interesting, it's different. I'm not nearly as excited about Rivian anymore as I was 3 or 4 years ago. I'm sorry, I kind of lost my enthusiasm for Rivian. But still, we like the car, we like the color, we like the design basically. It's overall a great vehicle. Whenever somebody asks me about it, I always tell them the vehicle is great. I have to point out that I'm not a fan of the company or the management of the company, I'm sorry. But the vehicle is definitely great. And now with the new vehicles coming out, the R2 and the R3, well, they're another 2 years out, and I don't want to say anything, but if you reserved one, expect 5 years. I'm sorry, we had to wait 5 years on this. I still don't know why. There's really no reason why, but whatever. So, well, these were kind of our first impressions here. We like the vehicle. My wife really likes it, and that's important because she'll be driving this most of the time. We have plans of towing here, hopefully. We still got to figure a few things out, but we may be going on a long trip with, I don't know if you can see that thing over there, right there. There's a trailer right there. This is a cargo trailer that is loaded with stuff. It's 5,500 pounds. I have been towing this with our truck over here, right? And yes, that diesel truck obviously tows this little tiny trailer real easy. We're even with the truck, we could go 80 miles an hour, but we don't because it sucks a little fuel, right? Diesel ain't cheap. Also, the tires on the trailer are not rated for that speed. So with the truck, it's usually between 55 and 65. And so I want to see if we can tow this trailer there with this Rivian here to our cabin in Idaho. The problem there is it's 150 miles from here to Butte. It's an uphill battle, and it's tough to do without a trailer. Like our Model 3 that has a range of 310 miles makes it there, well, this time of the year with about 20%. So now assuming that the trailer cuts the range in half, the real range, well, we're not going to make it with this Rivian. So we still have to figure that out. And then from Butte to our cabin, it's another 150 miles. It's not as much of an elevation gain there. It's a little different, the driving. So it doesn't suck as much energy, but still it comes down from 80%. The Model 3 comes down to about 15% or so. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we would love to tow this trailer with this, and we'll have to figure that out. And obviously we'll make a video about it so you know how this really works. We would like to leave this truck sit as much as possible, our Dodge, because yeah, I mean, it is a fuel guzzler, there's no doubt about it. It's got certainly it's a great truck, and it can do a lot of stuff that this can't do, that no electric pickup truck can do. This is a 1-ton dually. I mean, it's got a towing capacity way above and beyond any of the electric trucks out there. So yeah, we'll see. But well, yeah, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss out when we take this trip, and you get to see if we can tow with it. If we can't do the trip, I will definitely post a video about what the energy consumption is with that particular trailer, with that weight. I will be trying to use the Rivian with that trailer for some local stuff and see how that is, and I will see that I can make videos about that, because I would assume there is many of you out there too that would like to actually tow, and not everybody has to tow long distances. Like in general, most of the time that trailer only goes local within like 50-60 miles, so, and that is certainly possible with this here. So yeah, again, make sure you're subscribed, hit the notification bell so you get notified when those videos come out. And well, I guess that's about it for this video. Go down below in the description, maybe click the link to our Redbubble store. There's some stuff, there's some t-shirts, some designs. You can have them printed on almost anything, shower curtains or whatever. So maybe you like one of the designs. That would be wonderful. But in any event, thank you for watching. Goodbye.